Let's start. Good. So, officially, welcome everybody to this long day event about women in tech. She Works in Tech Career Day. I'm very excited to start this meeting. As a first rule, we'll kindly ask you to mute yourself because we are already over 30 people in this event. So it's a good start not to interrupt the speakers. So let me share my screen. Okay. Vivi and Syria, if you could mute people, it would be great.
Yes.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. So, welcome. She Works in Tech Career Day. So we have today booked from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Please remember to drink, have coffee, and eat something in the meantime. We don't want to see anybody faint during our event. But let's introduce the speaker. Actually, Syria, would you like to introduce yourself, or would you prefer to read it? As you prefer. You are here, so.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you, Lucia, for organizing this wonderful event. I'm already super excited. I'm Syria. I represent the Smart Work Academy. So what we have been doing for the past 2.5 years is that we give women the opportunity to start their careers in tech. We do that with the kind support from google.org and Inco Academy. So they are the power behind us that helps us allows us to do what we do. And we started in Estonia. We have there already trained over 500 women, and we have super good results thanks to our great learners. During the program already, more than 85% of the learners start either working, an internship, or further studies in IT. And this year we're super excited because we got the acceptance from Google to represent this program in Finland. And this She Works in Tech Career Day is one part of the program that we are running here. So I'll give the floor to you, Lucia, now.
That's great. Thank you, Syria. You're doing a great job. Thanks a lot. Then I will introduce myself. My name is Lucia Willermin, and I'm Director of Operation of International Working Women of Finland Association, IWWOF for short. So we are a community of women from all over the world. We are represented over 72 nationalities, and we live in Finland. Our core mission, we want to empower and support those women that are living in Finland through our shared work experience and all our ambitions, because we know how it's difficult to be an international woman moving to Finland. So we want to make sure that everybody feels included, and we want to facilitate the integration into the country. As we said, we become an association in 2009. Actually, this is a mistake, 2019, sorry for the typo. And we currently have over 9,000 members in our Facebook community. And we have been organizing over 500 activities, such as external training, workshop to improve the work life skills of our members. We have culture and social event like mingles. We want to network is one of our keywords, because we know that when we move to a country, you don't know many people, and in order to land a job in Finland, networking is a key word. And we have even mentoring programs. So what we do, we build a strong network with other associations, and this is a perfect example today event with Syria, Vivi, and the Shortcut, and we want to connect companies and international women, and especially with programs that are running in Finland, such as Talent Boost or Highly Institute of Education. So this is what we do in brief. But Vivi, would you like to introduce Horizon, or would you like me to do it? Since you are here, I can leave the floor.
Yes. Yeah,
Please.
I can introduce Horizon shortly. So hi, I'm Vivi, and I'm a community manager at Horizon. So Horizon is a nonprofit, and we are with the same mission as I think everyone else here, which is to bring more women into tech, and we have an additional kind of an angle in that with diversity. So diversifying tech is what we're trying to do here. And we do this by our or through our growth hacking program. So we train women to become growth hackers and help them get their first employment in tech. So that is us in short, and you might have known us before as the growth hacking program under Icebreaker VC. So nowadays we are an association, and that's why we have gone through a little bit of a identity change, but we're still the same thing, still helping women, still diversifying tech. So that is us. Yeah, I think that's a good short intro to us, not to take too much time from the beautiful presentations that we're going to see today.
Thank you, Vivi. That's great. And let me introduce shortly the Shortcut, which is the other organization behind this event. So Shortcut is again another impact-driven no-profit organization, and they are dedicated to support international in Finland through their integration, their career transformation, and program about becoming entrepreneur. So Shortcut started as she was really embedded in the startup ecosystem, and it was funded by the Startup Foundation, and they have partner organizations such as Lush, Maria O1, and Junction. So if you live in Finland, you might be familiar with those. So what the Shortcut does in brief, it's a bridge between the job seekers and the company in Finland, providing in-demand training and fostering the growth mindset in the community. So they are not only focused in tech, but even in tech. So, and happens that the CEO of Shortcut, Inga Chernova, became recently even IWWOF chairperson. So we are happy to have this connection further. But now let's dip into the real program of today. I'm very happy to see that over 45 people join. And let me introduce our first speaker. So Elena Leemput, I'm very happy to have her. She's a well-known person in IWWOF, and I'm super excited that she said yes to this event. So Elena is in innovative business technology enthusiast. She's really passionate in everything that she does, and she brought her passion into the digital transformation. With her expertise in industry standard solutions, she helped companies to optimize the processes, to increase efficiency and drive growth. So Elena, by leveraging technology, she achieved strategic objective, and she's committing to lead innovative change and driving digital transformation across organizations. So, and if you are part of IWWOF, you might know Elena because she was leading our photo group sessions. So Elena, the floor is yours. Now I will stop to share. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucia, for the kind words. That's so nice introduction. I'm always amazed to hear about myself. Yeah, so my name is Elena van Leemput, and build your career in business technology is what I would like to discuss with you today. And before we move on, business technology is a terminology that nowadays a lot of technological company uses, because we cannot anymore create business or have business value without technology, and they're all so integrated now that you cannot essentially separate them anymore. There's no IT department or business department anymore. It's integrated into business technology, and that's where the terminology comes from. So if we just start digging into the topics, before I would begin, I would like to talk a bit about the companies that I'm in, and yes, companies, because I'm actually working with the Business Technology Forum, but Business Technology Forum belongs to Sofigate group. But the Business Technology Forum is, or BT Forum for short, is a not-for-profit professional organization, and it's been established so that we can advance essentially a fair, competitive digital economy for all the companies. And what we do is we develop and maintain and distribute something called a Business Technology Standard, and that's an open source management framework. And that's something that I would like to introduce to you today as well, because I believe that it will help you move or get better knowledge in the big picture of the technological companies in general. And this business technology standard is actually built with a community with different industries and different companies. So it's not something that we created ourselves. Right, so for this session, I wanted to focus on telling you shortly about the business technology standard, and then an opportunity that any of you can take if you would like to enter the technology world. Then I will talk about the path that I've taken in my profession. Then I'll end with some tips for you if you're interested in a career with Sofigate. All right, and that was it apparently. Sorry, something went. All right, here we go. So let's first start with why should you know about business technology standard. So nowadays, there is no business without technology, like I mentioned. And the benefits and opportunities you get by learning this sort of framework, business technology standard is endless. But I'll tell you at least 3 things that I think you should keep in mind. So as a business technology professionals, they are currently being sought out. So there's high demand across industry for people who understand not just technology, but also business and how to run the business. Because like if these two are integrated, in the business side, you need to know what kind of technology are enabling you and so on. And on the technology side, you cannot you need to understand what value you're bringing to the business. So these two are very integrated, and therefore they're on high demand for people who actually understand both sides. Another thing that is beneficial to know is that it gives you a very broad skill set. So if you start a career in business technology, it allows you to essentially develop a more diverse skill, and that encompasses both technical and business skills. So we're not talking just by just technical. Of course, it's good to, if you start off with technical skills, that's really good. But at some point in your career, you might want to transfer to understand business value of what value you're bringing to the company. And then my favorite is impactful contribution. So essentially, you'll have the opportunity to make a significant contribution to the organizations, driving process improvements and enhancing operational efficiency, regardless of what you're doing, whether you are a programmer, a developer, or what it is you're doing. You'll find yourself inside this framework and know essentially what are your handover points, what are your interfaces, what kind of roles and skills do you need to develop further. So what is business technology standard and how can you benefit from it? So if I concisely describe what it is, it's like a consistent and straightforward framework for managing technology to bring value to the business. That's exactly what it is in concise terms. So it provides essentially a thorough understanding overall technology management landscape and helps build like the needed capabilities for managing digital transformation. And it also offers, for example, expert level practices. If you are already in how many of you are actually in technology organizations already? You can try to raise your hand. I don't know, do we have interactions capabilities here?
So they can raise their hands, yes. If you see in the bottom of Zoom, you will see a little reaction icon, and then you can see, you can raise your hands or do whatever you want to do. Send hearts, cry.
Yeah, so just raise your hand if we have at least one person who is in sort of technology company. Okay. I'm interested now to see where the rest of you are, at least a couple of you are in this work. All right. Some more there popped up. Thank you. So if you are in this type of work or business technology or in technology company, you will know that there are essentially a lot of development and product solution services going on, and how to efficiently sort of manage that kind of flow. So in the picture here, you'll see that there are different elements that the business technology standard brings to support those type of activities. The first one, the mindset model, it illustrates essentially what mindset is required to embrace the principles and practices of the business technology standard. And if you learn about that, it helps you to adapt the value-driven, more customer centricity and innovative mindset that you could bring or that you need in this type of organization. So in the second one, we have the operating model, and that defines the value creating flows and disciplines. So we have 5 different disciplines, and then there's a flow in the middle there that you see from demand to services, and that is telling you how that is done. So if you learn that, you can learn how the organization structures and organizes their technology related activities to deliver value and operate efficiently. Then we have the capability models. Capability model, it defines, like I mentioned, 5 different disciplines, but here it also defines 28 associated capabilities. So learning about this will help you identify the various areas of expertise and skills you would need to develop and to be able to excel in the role that you are in, and how you would be able to contribute. Then finally, the last model is the roles and responsibility model. And if you learn about this model, you will be able to, it will help you get clarity on what is expected in your roles. So expectations on the different roles that you are. For example, if you are a project manager, if you are a service manager, or even a scrum master, you'll be able to learn about what is the expectation of you from you, and then also how you are able to contribute to the other roles around. So these 4 different models are the core of the business technology operating model in any organization. So you can read more actually about the standard from this managebt.org. This business technology standard is an open source standard, which means any of you can go read it. And right now we're offering actually a free certification. So if you go to the website, read about it, and if you want to get ahead of the game, we offer something called a green card certification. And this is the first level certification, which means it will test your knowledge on the framework. So to align that you understand the same way as the business standard does. So it will give you a competitive advantage if you're thinking of a career in tech or changing towards technology organizations. Do you have any questions so far about this slide or chapter, what I have been telling about here?
We don't have any questions yet. Apart from, I think from Syria, actually, there's maybe we could, if this model can help to understand where in tech you could start. So maybe linking a little bit about the starting your career and how to use this framework to grow your career and build it.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And essentially, it all depends on which level or what kind of tech you want to go into. Like I mentioned, in the operating model, for example, this kind of understanding of this model will essentially give you an opportunity to understand what is development in an organization. If you want to start in tech, let's say in a developer capacity or in a programmer capacity, how do you actually fit into the big picture? And understanding that big picture is crucial, because then you will know, okay, is this company actually in need of sourcing more, or when will they have the opportunity to consider your talents and so on, and how can you move on in the development chain? So that's one example, but there are of course many ways that you could benefit from this model. And I think it would be great if you, for example, get a chance to look into the model and come back with the further questions. That would be nice. Great. So if we move on, I'd like to share a little bit of let's say, practical perspective for my own path or what the chosen career, or let's say in this chosen profession. So I didn't actually start with business technology standard or anything like that. I was a telecom engineer. So my bachelor degree was in industrial business management, and I majored in telecom engineering. So I started with that, and I actually joined a huge company called Ericsson, if you know it, at some point. And I was in the telecom industry for over 14 years. Then after that, I thought, okay, I would be actually interested in let's say, complementing my education with some more business background. So I actually did my master's degree in business administration, so in international business management. After that, I was very lucky to find this opportunity in consultancy. So I joined Sofigate 8 years ago. And there I learned a lot more about essentially different industries. So I started going out horizontally to different industries like utility, elevator, escalator, forestry, paper, financial services, construction. So this was really elevating and really inspiring to be able to see how these different industries start digitalizing their organizations and their activities and all that stuff. And it was really interesting. So what I then focused on in the past 2 years was totally business technology. I went full time with the BT Forum, BT Standard, where I essentially design operating models for the different organizations, data governance, for example, how end-to-end development happens, so improving those type of processes, and of course, most importantly, people engagement. So one thing that I would like to raise to Vivi's question there about how to start. If you are not so technical, but you'd like to get in towards the technology area, also people engagement is something that you could start with, because digitalization always brings transformation. And by going through people engagement or transformation management, you're going to be able to learn more gradually and get into the organization a little bit, or the area a little bit smoothly. So what is it that I do, that I need in my job? So my job is actually very diverse. And since we are a small group, I have to do quite a lot of things, different things. So I don't have just one role. And when I'm talking about roles, I mean like putting on different hats, in different times. So it's not about position or about titles. It's about having different hats. And currently, what I could mention about what I need in my job is specifically skills, very mixed skills. Like I need to know technical knowledge, but I do need to have some strategical thinking as well, business skills, and definitely strong communication skills. Then I do a lot of design work for organizations and how to implement the business technology framework. So there, of course, I need to be able to inspire teams, provide guidance, and foster this sort of collaborative and motivating environment for them to work in. Then the very, very traditional one is project management. So that is another point, by the way, that you could easily get into technology companies. If you have project management skills, you don't need to deep dive into tech. If you are new in tech, then project management is something that you could start with as well. Then, since we are so fast paced, we need to have like flexibility and always open to change. So shifting priorities all the time. So I need to be able to adapt to that always. Then, of course, in my job, it's very good to understand business models and value streams and various industries. And my favorite, always innovative mindset. That will take you quite far. Yes, so is there any questions about this part?
There was recently just one question, if you think that project management certifications are actually relevant in Finland. So do they add value in your career development?
it depends where you are. Some organizations will be very heavily relying on this type of certifications. I know in Sofigate, we don't, it depends on which, so it's a consultancy company, so it depends which type of clientele you're working for, but it's not so huge since we have this business technology standard and certification different level on this. So we don't require particularly any like a PMP or Prince2 certification, but it's, you need to, I would say that it really depends on the organization. And in Finland, I've seen some organizations that actually require it, and many just don't. So I think years of experience might weigh also a bit more. Thanks, Vivi. Yeah, anything else?
No further questions at this point.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, so then I would share with you some potential prospects at Sofigate, since the business technology standard is a not-for-profit organization and requires a little bit more experience with business technology standard. We don't recruit directly there, but however, there are so many, Sofigate is like a partner to us, even though we belong to the group, but there are other organization structure there that actually recruit quite heavily business technology standard people. So they are the ones that are bringing the standard forward and work according to the standard. So here I would like to introduce to you something called the Next Generation Performance Program. This is meant for junior advisors and professionals that just start. So it's possible that you might have just started or finished your studies in the middle of your studies, or just have a couple of years of experience. I encourage you to enter this program. So it will start again in autumn of 2024. So the work that you would expect could include, for example, project and program management, data analytics and cloud solutions. That's something that I think data right now is quite huge as well in many organizations. So that's something that to look for. Working with platforms like ServiceNow, Salesforce, Oracle, and SAP. Those are quite huge at the moment. So if you're looking at, let's say, what to study or what to focus on in your work, going to tech or something, those are, I would recommend as the focus points that you can do right now. Business transformations, like I mentioned, so change, transformation, people engagement, this type of work will be quite good. Then digitalization of the public sector. So we also have that. And if you're interested in that, that's one of the focus points that you could do in the NGP program. Right, and where can you find this NGP program? So when it will be released, you will be able to see it in LinkedIn, Sofigate's page, as well as well, Sofigate's website, of course. So I have given you there the QR code to open positions at Sofigate, and that's a very nice place to start. And right now you can see that there are a few of these platform jobs open for anyone who is qualified to do that. You can go and look at that. And they are quite open to international meaning applicants, so they don't require necessarily, in platforms especially, they don't require necessarily Finnish. So that's a good opportunity for international participants. Yes, so that concluded my presentation for today. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be here, and I could take any questions if you have.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you. It was really nice. So a lot of people ask about the green certificates. Can you confirm that is it free, right?
Yes, I can confirm that it is free, and all you need to do is send an email to the info@btforum.org email. And if you do that, please mark that you are from IWWOF, then I would also be able to know to allocate you to the proper group. And yes, it's free.
That's great. So unfortunately, not everybody's from IWWOF in this group, but IWWOF is one of the organizers of this event. So if you mention the National Work Event of Finland, in short IWWOF, then Elena will know that you come from this event as well. So
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you belong or not. Just so for me, it's easier to understand that you're from IWWOF. Sorry.
That's great. Thank you. More followers, more members. We are always happy to have more.
Yeah, but this is great. So much. Thanks so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Elena. Vivi, do we have any other questions?
I have a question, if I may ask.
Oh, yeah, please do.
Yeah, I was checking the Next Generation Performance Program, trying to Google it. Is it correct that this program is for a fee? So this one is not
No.
free.
So what you're looking at now is not existing yet. So we will put out the ad for this in LinkedIn and on the website when it's available, because we're talking about a year from now. So it's not yet.
Oh, right. Okay.
Advertised.
But the 2023 something information I found, but I think that many of the learners here are kind of on, let's say, they don't have too many monetary resources if they've just moved to Finland and looking for a job. So, like, do you have any indication of will it cost, how much, something like that?
Oh, this program is like the NGP program is a recruiting program. It does not cost you. You get, I guess, you get paid also to become this.
Right. I understood that it's some kind of a training program.
Yeah, it is, but it is also a recruiting program for juniors, essentially, or just starting out career people.
Great. Okay, so definitely our members from the Work in Tech program should follow it.
I think so, definitely. Yes.
Thank you. I also have another question. Do you know how open is Sofigate to having interns? I don't know if that's part of your job, but maybe on a general level, you can tell, like, what is the general attitude or openness to have interns?
No, definitely they can. They have interns. So the younger junior intern should go through this program. But if you are having already quite a bit of experience and so on, I think it's worth always to send over your request. They're very open to this type of thing. So I would say
that's very good to know. So people put that also under some things that use Google and look for those openings. And what we are doing in our program is also we aim to help everyone to understand what they want to do in the future. So as soon as you know what you want to do, it's good to send your description and what type of internship you're looking for. And then, the people from Sofigate will also understand what you're looking for, and there are higher chances that they will actually have something to offer you.
Yeah, exactly. And also the what I recommend is, if you apply to Sofigate or want to apply to Sofigate, then definitely go through the Business Technology Standard Framework and take the green card if possible, because that will give you so much more advantage.
Good tip. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elena, do you think this green card give you good advantages only on Sofigate or in every Finnish company?
There are, I wouldn't say every, but a lot of Finnish company knows this framework and working according to this framework. So into a lot of companies, and if the companies don't have it yet, you should introduce it to them, because that's essentially a very, very effective way to run business efficiently. So definitely, I would say benefit for all, but for all companies using, if they recognize it or not, that I don't know, but many big companies do recognize this, and many companies mid-size as well.
That's great. Thank you.
All right.
I
think we have questions, right, Vivi?
Yeah.
So, so I would actually, like, if I can interject, there aren't many recent ones. There's discussion about the different kinds of opportunities, and links are being thrown around. So take the links, dear participants, if you find this interesting. The green card sounds amazing. I wanted to ask Elena, because I know that there are many people from Horizon here as well, and many of our participants are not Finnish speaking. They have perhaps just started learning Finnish, but we might know here that it's a long journey. Has that ever been an issue for you, or have you ever had to deal with any kind of prejudices based on your language skills or your cultural background or anything like that in the tech world? And do you have any tips to our participants on that side, if you've ever encountered any?
No, actually, so I was fortunate enough to start in an organization that is huge, global conglomerate. So it's like 100,000 people to begin with. So it was very international, and the culture was really great to say that, okay, even if you have one foreigner, everyone will speak English to you. And so I haven't had so much experience that it would be an issue. And of course, if we're talking about and even in Sofigate, it's not, even though it's smaller, it's not really an issue because everyone, in fact, speak English. And from there, a lot of people are coming from these bigger organizations as well, like Nokia and so on. So those are fostering culture of international culture. So yeah, in that department, not so much in that sense, work sense. So I have seen that there might be some discrimination in some areas, or heard from a lot of different people. And I think one advice that would be good coming from that kind of discussions is that show your competency. You know, language barrier normally overcomes like that type of, it's overarching. It doesn't really matter as long as you're competent in what you do, your skills are there. There's no way that someone will say, okay, just because you don't know the language, you don't know something. That's not really. So take the focus onto something else than the language.
Great advice. Thank you so much. And Deborah had raised a hand. Sorry, Deborah, for not noticing it straight away. Would you like to unmute and ask a question?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. And thank you for the presentation. It was really lovely one. I just wanted to know, with this kind of, do you have to get a background from business field and IT field? Because I think it's business technology. So with this thing, did you have to get business field and also IT field so that you can combine the skills together before they will recruit you? I just want to know.
No, I know for a fact that it's a no answer to that. We have people coming from so many different backgrounds, even like translator or something like this, or nursing we have. So it's not limited to that. As long as you when you start understanding this type of business and IT, when you're at the job, then it's okay. There's no requirement that you should be.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have also in our program experienced, and the companies have told us who take our interns and juniors, that people from different fields actually bring a lot of value because they have a fresh eye to the problems that many businesses or organizations are facing.
Yeah.
So yeah, be confident of what you have, not try to hide it. Rather just take that and turn what you have into an opportunity to get your foot in the door in the tech field.
That's definitely true. And what I would also say is be innovative, and meaning that, you know, you having another background would give so much richer opinions and ideas to those who are doing it all the time. So something called Not Invented Here is a very good book to read, because that will give you the ideas of what type of innovative ideas you can bring to the people. So for example, I can give you a very, very quick example, like the airport conveyor belt. There's a restaurant that uses that as a sushi belt. And people just come there and sit and they get their sushi on the plate. And that's where it comes from. So Not Invented Here, as an example.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And
thanks,
Mimi. There's a reason behind why organizations want to diversify their teams in technology. And we have also a very short example that we were working together with Telia and they gave a practical assignment to our learners to enhance their kind of a service that is offered for kids. Like it's they gather different cartoons there. And since our learners are all women and have kids, they had so many great ideas of how to develop this service. But most of the, developers and UX people there were guys. So, this is an example of gender diversity, but any kind of diversity is bringing a lot of value when you develop services. So, yeah, sorry for jumping in, but it was just such a great real life example and to share that.
Absolutely. Great. There's a question for you guys in the chat then.
Yes, they will be available. We are currently recording. I can answer straight away. So we have a full day. I think we should thank Elena so she can finish her luggages and get off to her deserved holidays. Thank you so much, Elena, for joining us today. At the beginning of the chat, you can find Elena LinkedIn profile. She will happy to connect with you. If you send a note that you come from this event, she will connect you more easily, but she will connect with you after the deserved holidays. And I think that now we should take 5 minutes break, get some water, get some coffee myself, and then we can start with the next speaker. Thank you so much, Elena.
Thank you.
Enjoy your holidays.
Enjoy, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So yes, Syria, Vivi, do you agree? Let's take 5 minutes break, get water, coffee, whatever you need to survive the day. Personally, I'm happy to be in Italy so I can have an espresso. And I will now stop the recording and I will start recording back so we have like different episodes.